How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your ginger Geordie geek. Welcome back to the channel for another episode of This Is My. If you've not seen This Is My before, this is the show where we meet someone from the comic book collecting, card, whatever community, and we'll have a bit of a chat with them about their collecting habits. We'll get them to show off some of the collection, and we'll just chat in general about all things geeky. So tonight, I am over the moon to be joined by someone I've known for a couple of years now, and I've had the pleasure of meeting in real life, both at Thought Bubble and also in Northern Ireland when I went over there a little while ago. So this is, of course, the incredible James Comic Deal. James,
hi. I'm incredible. Thank you.
You're incredible. You're phenomenal, James. One might say phenomenal.
If you say so.
How are you, sir? Are you well?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah, I can't complain. I'm doing
good stuff. Good. Now, you used to be on the internet on that YouTube malarkey a fair bit with your Panels and Pints show, but we don't see that much of that show anymore now, and it would be remiss of us not to mention it. Are we ever going to get a recurrence of it?
I don't know what show you're talking about. I don't think of Panels and what. I'd say I've heard of
Panels and Pints. You don't remember it? Have you blocked that out from your memory? Have you?
Who knows?
We've got a few of your fans in the chat tonight, James. So we've got Phil from Phil's. I still can't say it, Phil. I prefer Nerdyverse. Phil Fiction. We want James. We want James. We want James. I'm a big fan. Of course, he's referring to James Keegan there, but I'm sure he's pleased to see you as well. Other James, but yeah. Nice to see you, Phil. I mean, I'm touching 20 stone, so a big fan. Wow.
My only fan.
He's an only fan. Yeah, cuddly fan. We've got Dr. Von Hoot. Nice to see you, Von Hoot. Looking forward, me and James, I'm sure. Well, James, I'll see whether he is or not. I'm looking forward to meeting you at Thought Bubble again, Von Hoot. James, are you looking forward to meeting him again?
I'm looking forward to being there.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, good.
Whatever happens is a bonus.
Yeah. So. We've got Panels and a Half Pint. Nice to see you, Shauna. Have you heard of him? Have you met that character before?
No, it's just he's so small I can't even see him.
It's the eye line. It's the eye line, isn't it? Evening peeps, ready to see the shit hit the fan. Absolutely. We've got Bat Dan. Always good to see Bat Dan. And we've got John. Always nice to see you, John. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, we've got lots to get through tonight. James, the way it works is we'll ask you a little question for you to chunter on about. We'll get you to show off an item from your collection. And this show is all about kind of exposing you a little bit, learning a little bit more about you. So feel free to share. Use it as a bit of a therapy session.
Expose me, Peter. I want to be exposed.
Yeah, I've seen it before, mate. But, the internet hasn't. So we'll start off with a nice easy one. Well, not that I know of, yeah. What's your story? Tell me a little bit about you and your background and what kind of stuff you get up to.
I mean, it's not much of a story. Like I haven't come across any dead bodies in parking lots like your last guest.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shock.
Most of the bodies I come across are alive at the time. But I don't know. It's a pasty. I would say it started to see him start for most sort of UK based people in terms of comics and stuff. You got your Beano and your Dandies, and we're always reading them as young bucks. And then, there was just a news agent around the corner from me, and it would occasionally bring in sort of American comic books. And it was a lot of, if I remember, it was just mostly DC stuff. So there was somebody
Firestorm?
Yeah.
Hair on Fire.
Yeah. So I remember picking them up and thinking that was great. And then I matured and started reading Marvel comics instead. Yeah. And it's just spiraled from there. In terms of comics, it's just I remember going into the comic shop in town for the first time and picking through some comics and chatting to the owner there. He was not a nice man at all. He didn't like people in the shop, especially kids.
Yeah.
He hated it. And yeah, so mostly I've been a collector of comics for a long time. I would collect other things as well, like trading cards here and there, and I've had varied interests in other things as well. So like I've been an American football coach here in Ireland. I used to kickbox, competed in kickboxing for a brief period of time.
I mean, that surprises us, James, because obviously I've met you in real life, and I wouldn't have said you've got the physique for that kind of activity, that physical sport. Do you know what I mean? You're not like myself. You're not.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not built like Pete. That's
Yeah.
you know, it was a long time ago. So you know,
Yeah. Let yourself go.
figures change.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu as well. I competed in a Brazilian jiu-jitsu tournament. Got a silver medal.
Nice.
But there was only 2 of us in the weight class, so you figure that one out, guys. Well, I played American football as well, obviously, before I started coaching. But yeah, that's me. Oh, and I am now a professional freelance artist. I guess that's a big one too. For Tops, doing sketch cards, which is exciting and new. It's all new. That's all new to me. That started in March this year, and it's been fun. A roller coaster of emotions. Scary getting that first blank card I needed to draw a Star Wars character on. I was just like, what am I doing? Like imposter syndrome kicked in. But I'm scraping by.
Yeah. And you know, we're going to touch on that a little bit later on, because the cards, and again, I don't like to be soppy and nice to people, James, as you probably know. But you know, you are living the dream. You've done something that not many of were managed to do, in which, you know, you're a proper bona fide published artist, which is friggin' amazing. You must be absolutely chuffed to bits with that. In reality, you must be over the moon.
Yeah. It's very exciting. Andy, and you'll notice in the comments there, Andy doesn't like me talking about it. But yeah, Tops. Every time I say Tops, he has to take a shot or something. So,
but let's be honest. It's because you exude talent. You know what I mean? And Andy, not so much. It's a jealousy thing, I think, James. Do you know what I mean? It's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah, I couldn't possibly comment.
Yeah. We've got Andy is saying, my favourite of the Jameses, Some Man for One Man, somewhere James Keegan's crying himself to sleep. We've got Christine Payne, nice to see you. I hope you are well. And as you say, Tick mentioned Tops. We've got we've got Kenneth, nice to see you, Kenneth. Hope you're well, my friend. And Sean is saying, when did you become a Tops artist? First I've heard it. Jesus. First I've heard
it. See the support, you know, the support I've gotten from from you know, my actual friends has been fantastic.
Yeah.
And then Pete, there's one thing as well. I don't think a lot of people do know, but I also am, or have been in the past anyway, like a small, how would you say, like an extra, like a movie extra. So
right,
quite a while back, I signed up to sort of work on movies, and it's been probably going on for about 50, 60 years now. So
really, well, I'm saying, because obviously we had a conversation before the show, and you shared a couple of images, and I'm not going to lie, James, when you said this, I thought, oh, James is just having a laugh. He's talking shit. But I've done some research myself, and I've seen some of your performances, and they're amazing. And like you say, I don't think many people will even be aware of that, but we have got some imagery of some of the movies you starred in. Is that right?
Yeah. There's I mean, it's something I keep pretty close to my chest. It's because I don't like to brag, you know. But
So
I just
tell
thought,
us
you know
a
what,
little bit about this. Tell us. I mean, this is classic, surely.
Yeah, this is. I was absolutely honored to be able to work on The Great Escape, or The Great Escape as it's now known. It was A Great Escape during production, and so this is obviously the scene where Steve McQueen's riding away on his motorcycle. He has to do a big jump, and I play the role of a captured Englishman.
Right.
The jail cells were all filled up already, so they just put me in old-fashioned stocks. At that time, they thought, you know, it's fine. It will work well for the scene, and I think you'll have to admit it really makes the countryside look a lot better.
It does. And when I watched this back, because I've seen this film a lot of times, and I'm going to be honest with you, James, and I mean no offense, I hadn't noticed you on the few.
Well, you see, that's what makes a good background actor. You don't notice them.
Yeah, and then when I went back and watched it just recently, when you sent these images, there you are. You are.
Seamless. Unless you know, you don't see, and that's what made me such a good actor at the time.
And what was he like? Did you get to meet him? Did you get to sit in his bike?
You know what? It was really, really good. I didn't get to sit on his bike, but yeah, he was such a dick. He was so rude. He just had no time for anybody. Very self-centered. He just wanted to be on his bike.
Yeah.
And that's it.
He's an interesting bloke. Anyway, have you brought some collectibles to show off today?
I do, yeah. So you know what? I'll start off with so yeah, trading cards obviously is probably going to be something we're going to talk about a lot today. So I also do collect trading cards, and one of the things I collected or do still collect is NFL trading cards, American football. So we're going down a wee sporty route here, and I just thought I would show off a few of sort of my favorite that I've picked up.
Yeah.
I've also got a few sort of that are slabbed. Now I've bought them slabbed.
Right.
So I didn't slab any myself, but I thought, you know, let's show you off how nice some of these are. Most of these are sort of Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a team I support. Guys, if you don't like sports or whatever, just hit pause or something, come back in a few minutes. But so these are all different grading companies too. But yeah, I have these, and I've got Jerome Bettis, one of my favorite players for the Steelers from back in the day.
So I know very little about trading card grading, James. A 10, I take it that's kind of like a top.
Yeah, 10 at tops, as Andy would love to hear. Yeah, 10 would be your top. And then it sort of scales down. Like a lot of these are different companies, so they might have different scaling methods, but you're generally going up in 5s.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. Some of these might not even do points. So we got this one here. Is Hines Ward, again, good wide receiver for the Steelers. This is 3CSG.
Right.
That's graded. I got some 8s, you know. Don't know what that is. So this one is a Beckett graded. This is a 9, which is mint, and this is Dwayne Haskins. Now, this is a rookie card for Dwayne Haskins when he was drafted by the Washington Redskins at the time. Yeah. The Steelers did sign him a couple of years ago, but then he died. So yeah, and you'll see on here, my camera's not the best, but this actually has subgrades on it too. So it's a 9 sort of card, and it says things like, you know, conditioning or centering is a 9, corners are 9.5, edges are 9.5, surface is 9, you know, so it gives you sort of a breakdown.
Very cool.
I think that's something CGC were thinking of doing, wasn't it, for breaking down?
Yeah, there's been talks of it. Yeah.
And the last sort of sports card I want to show off, because it's really nice, is like an autographed card. So sports cards do these a lot, so you can get autographed. So this one is in a one touch. It's a Steelers card, and it's a booklet. So it just looks like this. You're like, what is that?
Right.
And you open it up. It's like a wee booklet. And they're
signature of the player as well.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a shirt from the player. So it's a relic or they will call it. Nowadays, it will say there's a wee disclaimer in the back, and it says it's not from any specific game or event.
Right. Okay.
So that, you know, that's how they get away from saying, oh, it's not game worn or anything. Back in the day, it used to be all sort of game worn shirts and stuff that you would get patches off. Yeah. So yeah, that's a wee look into that.
This is as enthusiastic as he's seen you in months. You see, I never had you as a sports card collector, I have to say, but yeah, good stuff. We've got MJ Comics in the chat. Nice to see you, MJ. I hope you're well. Dr. Von Hoot is saying, question, is a rookie card the first card a player is on, or a card of when they were a rookie?
So yeah, it's a card from when they were a rookie player, and when it's their first when they just got drafted into the NFL. The sets that come out that year, they would mark them as a rookie. And then it depends when the sets come out. They mightn't even have them in the team uniform they're in, so the card would have their college uniform.
Very cool. Very cool. Phil's saying Peter's doing an excellent job as host to look interested. Everybody knows, Phil, I am super interested in sporting memorabilia.
You know what?
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Do you want to get Phil's interest? I have others from other sports. This is football, but I do have a small collection of Park Ji-sung or Ji-sung Park cards. I bought all these on eBay at different times. They're all signed, as you see.
I have no idea what I'm looking at, mate.
So this is a South Korean footballer. He played for Man United. Ji-sung Park, probably the best player in the world ever.
Right.
And that's a fact. So I've got 4 cards of his signed, and the signature is different on every single one. So,
I love the way you said, and that's a fact. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
So yeah, I'm basically just buying bootleg signatures of the random Korean players. But genuinely, he is my favorite player, Ji-sung Park. So
Andy's saying it's a little bit creepy. It's a little bit creepy. James is impressed. Yep. We're not going to be talking about the rabbit tonight. No rabbit content.
How long are we on for? Because that's
okay. Next question for you, mate. Next question for you.
Yes.
You're stuck on a desert island. You can only watch one movie for the rest of your life, have one kind of food for the rest of your life, and one drink for the rest of your life. What are you picking? So what are you watching, eating, and drinking?
What am I watching? Oh. That is. I mean, you get all your guests on here, and you'll say, "Oh, it's a tough question," and you think I would prep for it, but it didn't. So, what is a good what movie would I watch? I would probably have to go like Empire Strikes Back.
Oh,
just
nice.
Because it is. Star Wars is one of my favorite movies of all time, and watched it constantly since I was a wee nipper. And it's always been something that I've had in my life, so I think I would need to keep it in my life.
You weren't in Star Wars or any of the Star Wars movies, were you? Just based on the last conversation we had.
No, unfortunately, I could not get the part.
It's a shame.
I did audition for Princess Leia, but like I said, the bikini did not fit.
Did you manage to keep it? But did you keep it? Shit, never mind.
Nah, they were quite strict. They were quite strict on those things, as you would imagine.
So Empire is a good pick. I like that one. What about eating and drinking?
Eating and drinking. I'd have to go just old fashioned Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, drinking. Sorry, I would. Yeah, no, Coca-Cola. I just something. If you don't drink Coke too often, when you have a nice cold can of Coke, it's just there's nothing better. There's no better feeling than that. Just that.
Yeah. I mean, I said you were on an island, and I didn't say you had a fridge, so it's warm Coke you're drinking, James.
So it's a warm island. Why can't it be a cold island? Can it be like an ice island? I can put it in the water, keep it cold.
You go on, I'll let you have it. What about food? What are you eating?
That's another tough one. I don't cheese baps. Right. So just a basic bap. Yep. It has to be obviously cut in half, buttered, lots of butter, and nice thick slices of cheese. Sort of like fingers of cheese, I guess you could call them. Put them in the bap. If it's a finger roll, it could be. If it's a round roll, then it doesn't really matter. And just so that you take a bite and then you squeeze it, and the butter just sort of like rolls out.
I used to like. Did you Jacob's crackers? If you do that with them and you squeeze them, the butter kind of comes
like the wee
out.
holes.
Yeah, the wee holes.
I know what you mean. It's like a wee. Yeah. So it's a bap with cheese in it because again, I've eaten that for as long as I can remember. It's just a classic, and it's probably easy enough to make as long as you've got cheese and baps and butter on the island.
Exactly. Bit of sand, but it'll be fine.
Never heard of it.
We've got Andy saying a kebab. Surely no, you've heard from the man himself. He wants a basic bap, cheese bap. Yeah, we've got Connie. Nice to see you, Connie. Phil, Star Wars. That's it. He's done. MJ is excited about the thoughts of your baps. Cork, Baps, and I can't say Ji-sung Park. The show has peaked. No, this is Connie. Nothing but the best on this channel. We don't go in for, all the big wig stuff and all that. We talk baps. We talk cheese baps. Phil's egg in a cup. Absolutely not. Vile. Cheese and onion crisps in Belfast bap. Yep, that's a winner. Sean and I said last night, there's no idea. I love a Belfast bap. And they wonder why panels and pints is never coming back. Okay, let's move away from bap talk. And I do want to pick your brains again.
Cheesy baps.
I do want to pick your brains again about some of the other movies you've starred in. And again, you said before that kind of, extra work you meant to be in the background a little bit. I'm not sure you achieved it in this next one that you are in mind. I'm not sure because you're very prominent in that one. So tell a little bit about that one.
So this was actually in the director's cut. I don't think this would be in the special edition laser disc, just and it this is where they wanted to try something new with the sort of alien encounter in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And it to be honest, it did sort of change the way the movie was sort of seen. So instead of like the the piano tune that they did to sort of draw out the aliens, it was basically Maniac from Flashdance. So they're playing that on the piano. Just a steel tongue girl on a Saturday night. Right. And then I would emerge from the ship holding the two cans, and I'd be like, "What about you?" And so it was like I was originally in this scene as a background actor, but they thought they would give me a sort of a slight promotion and put me sort of front and center because they liked my look. They thought it looked very extraterrestrial, or was it just extra? I think it was just extra. So that's how this one came to be. Again, it was quite exciting. I've never played an alien being before, so I would highly recommend anyone to do that.
And what was Spielberg like? Did you get to meet him?
No, I didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't shoot that. He left it to the second unit director. Oh,
I see. Jeff. Yeah, that's a shame. Okay, nice. It's a good one of my favorites. I will have to check out that laser disc. And see
it is hard to hunt down, but definitely check it out. It does slightly alter the mood of the movie, but I think it's
always improves it. It sounds better to me. I like the idea of the Maniac. So yeah. Okay, James. Next question for you, bud. Dead easy one. You've got to get rid of one of these that never existed. So get rid of Marvel or get rid of DC. And you can't have any of the stuff that kind of associates with them.
I mean, this is pretty easy. I don't read a whole lot of DC. I don't mind the movies as much, but I would definitely just get rid of DC entirely. It would not affect my life one bit if it was gone. So,
not a Batman fan?
It was the most boring character in the whole world.
You've just upset Andy, I'm sure. So, what about the Marvel kind of pantheon? Then, who's your favorite character in the Marvel lineup?
I mean, I always a big fan of Spider-Man. Grew up with Spider-Man all the time in the cartoons, and even at the old '60s cartoon they used to rerun in the mornings before school. I would watch that a lot. I hope the chat's behaving. Trying to have a conversation here, like a full-on proper conversation.
They've pointed out here that that you were cast in the Goonies, and that you were the "Hey, you guys." Is that true? Or is that...
No, that must have been somebody else.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I mean. This is like why am I even here?
They're being vile. Honestly.
They are. This is
so like, Spider-Man. You're a Spider-Man guy.
Let's put that behind us. Yeah, so I'm Spider-Man, X-Men. I really got into Daredevil for a while as well as a youngster. And then Night Thrasher as well. I was always a big fan of Night Thrasher. I was just based on like the comic. Was it the Marvel Heroes role-playing game? And they used to have a list of all these characters, and we like sort of. I think it was like wee cutouts of the characters. And I think I remember Night Thrasher being one, and I really liked his look, which does not look anything like Batman. So.
No. You like his skateboard?
I did like his skateboard, yeah. Because if you're going to fight crime on a skateboard, it's the most
exactly.
It's the safest form of travel.
Exactly. That original run of New Warriors was actually really, really good when he was in that. Yeah. We've got synthetic panels. Thank you very much for joining. I don't know if that's a cousin of Panels and Half Pints, but nice to see you. Show us something else. What else have you got in your collection to show off?
All right. Let's stick with trading cards, will we? As well. So obviously Star Wars cards is a big thing for me as well. And I've got a couple. I've got actually a CGC graded 10 gem mint Star Wars card from Star Wars Galaxy 2023. I won it,
right?
Like randomly in a giveaway. But I thought, hey, why not show this? So this is
nice.
Emperor. It's called the Emperor Up Close, and it was just a giveaway on. I bought a book. It was a buyer's giveaway and whatnot, and
I like that. That's very cool. Very cool.
It is. And then I've also got a few sort of signed cards from Star Wars. This is from this year's set. Again, they picked these up pretty cheap, but we've got Iconic. I understand. So we have Pommet Warwick, who is Wicked's son, but also Warwick Davis's son plays him in Rise of Skywalker at the very end. One tiny wee scene. Yeah. They both sort of look up at a Star Destroyer falling from the sky. But yeah, so that's Harrison Davis, which is Warwick Davis's son.
Very cool.
We also have this one. It's Lily Cole, who played a character in Last Jedi called Lovey. Randomly,
I don't remember that character at all.
No, she was in Casino, Canto Bright, throwaway character. But my favorite character of all time. And this is why I sort of bought this lot, because it's my favorite character, and still played by the same guy who played him, not voiced by him, but played him, and it's Admiral Akbar.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Played by Tim Rose, who did the sort of the body work.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's I really
so
like Admiral Akbar.
Can you get those signatures verified?
I mean, you don't need to because they're already verified technically.
Right, got you. By Tops, got you.
Yeah, Tops would say they are. There's a wee thing to say that they're signatures on his cards from our Tops autograph archives. But yeah, like they wouldn't put fake autographs on them, so you wouldn't need to get verified or anything. But if you get it graded, it was still graded.
Absolutely, very cool. And he's saying, "I didn't realize you collected so much." Shite, James.
I didn't. I honestly just bought all these on eBay last week just so I had something to show. Yeah,
just for the show. We've got another take. I think you get the take every time you mention Tops, which is nice.
Tops.
Sean is saying, coincidentally, I was a stunt double for. Yeah, I can believe it. And James is saying, how much is a card commission? I'm sure James will hit you up after the show to discuss that. Of course, I have a number of original James sketches myself already, so thank you very much for those. I'm expecting them to shoot up in value, so I do appreciate them.
I mean, if you've seen what my Star Wars ones have sold for on eBay, then they won't.
It's a starting point. It's a slow burn. You'll get there, I'm sure. Before long, we'll be talking thousands. I mean, I'm expecting you did me a Shadow, I think it was. I'm expecting that to go for at least $3-4 grand. I would have thought.
What did I do?
The Shadow. I think it was a
that was the first comic I ever drew on. That was I didn't enjoy that process.
I'm glad to know it was done with. James is saying, I want a Scarlet Spider. And Phil is saying, my Usagi card has pride of place. Absolutely. Okay, back to your extra work, James. I don't remember this movie. Don't remember this movie. Which one's
10 Things I Hate About You.
So
it's a, what is it? An adaptation of Shakespeare story. And of course, the man himself, Heath Ledger. He actually personally asked me to come on board as a background actor for this movie. He said, listen, we're doing a scene. I'm on the steps. We've got a couple of actors there, but they're not convincing. It's actually school kids. Can you be the school kid? And I'm like, Heath, I can be anything you want. And there you go. You can see there I am up at the back of the bleachers, I guess you could call it. And just having a wee jar or two. Soaking up the sun, getting them shoulders bronzed.
So had he seen you in Close Encounters? Because he's obviously asked you to kind of bring back that character that you played.
Yeah, he did. He was a big Laserdisc collector, so he did see that special scene. And he did want to actually sing. He wanted to sing Maniac for this scene. I advised him, listen, stick to the script, mate. Could lead to big things. Yeah. And I'm glad he did.
Sean's saying it's almost like they wanted James in HD for the background.
It's just my complexion. That's just my. It's
just stunning disposition, isn't it?
I'm in 4K all the time.
Exactly.
Apart from that, on this camera, ironically.
Andy's saying not sure about 10, but he can certainly think of a couple. do they realise we've got live? Of course we do. What's the matter with you? We're learning more about James and his varied career.
And this is why I don't tell anyone about this, Peter. That's why I've kept
Exactly.
this secret. I thought, right, you know what? I'm more confident now than I was this last like 12 months of growing in confidence. I'm going to put it out there.
Yeah.
Be damned, who knows? And this is the kickback I get.
Yeah. Just rise above it. Rise above it. We've got the comic vet. Nice to see you, my friend. I hope you are well. Fuzzy is saying I've got Usagi and 2 Hulk Hogan cards by James. It's 3 cards a collection. Is 3 cards a collection? Yeah. 3 nice cards is definitely a collection. Phil's saying, imagine this wasn't a piss take, but James believe he was. James was in these movies.
We're literally looking at it. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand what's the matter with people.
Like it's literally there.
Okay, next question for you, bud. Next question. What are you currently reading? What's on your list of books that you pick up regularly to have a bit of a flick through?
So what I actually have picked up recently has been Uncanny Valley. I started reading that. Honestly, probably the only thing I've been reading over the last few months. I don't have any pull list anymore. I stopped when Usagi stopped being published on IDW. I'd pick up the odd issue now, but I don't even pick the Dark Horse one up anymore. So Uncanny Valley, yeah, I've read up to issue 5, I think it is that now. So yeah, that's really the only thing that I've been reading comic book wise.
Yeah. What are you thinking of Uncanny Valley then? Because I have to say, I was there for the first couple of issues.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it kind of just started to dry.
I think that they have drawn, pardon the pun, but they've drawn it out quite a bit. I think so far you could have fit what they've done in maybe 2 or 3 issues for the 5 issues. If you think about it, not much has particularly happened. But there was one panel I really liked where they took the hood off the ghoul and said, "Oh, it's actually the vice principal from the school."
Right.
You know, like old Scooby-Doo reference, which was probably made me want to continue reading the last issue. But no,
I haven't read that issue myself yet, so
it's not that big of a spoiler. I wouldn't worry about it. It's just
not now, is it? You know?
It's just a wee tiny panel for one wee reference, and that's it. That's it.
Now, James, a few people in the chat are saying they're disappointed with Uncanny Valley. Yeah, it's and Andy's saying it sounded so Irish. Could you say it again, please? He's not your performing monkey. You can say it if he wants to say it.
No, I'll do whatever. I mean, I'm up here in 10 Things I Hate About You, so I'll say whatever. Did I say Uncanny Valley?
Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, I got it.
Now, you are a big Rabbit fan. The cartoon character, the comic character. If someone was getting into Usagi and wanted to start reading it, where would you tell them to start?
There's been so many reprints, so many sort of trades released. I would literally say go for the start. Go from step one. Any of the reprints that have come out, like Lone Goat and Cub was sort of one that came out with IDW. That was just starting. I think that was from issue 1 onwards for the first wee story. But I think you can literally jump in at any time. Now it is like it's basically been from the first issue up until now. It's been an ongoing saga. In storyline has only taken place in maybe a couple of years, but the series has been going out for 40 years. But in story wise, it's only been I think they said how long it was, maybe a couple of years at most. So you can literally jump in at any of the sort of stories. So they usually have like 3 or 4 issues for one sort of wee arc. Sometimes it's a standalone issue. So I would say jump in anywhere. And see if you like it. I wouldn't go too heavy because you might like it. I wouldn't say buy like 40 issues and start from there. Just go, grab one of the most recent issues, have a wee read, and if you like it, start going from the front to the back. Yeah,
I picked up one of the collected editions a while ago, but I still haven't managed to get myself into it. But I will read it.
There was a 5 or 6 part that came out through Dark Horse a lot of years ago called Grasscutter. It's probably one of the best sort of stories they've had, but it's a good one to get into as well.
Oh, good stuff. Show us something else from your collection, James. What else have you got hidden there?
Well, we mentioned the rabbit. Let's talk about the rabbit. I'm not a big toy collector. but they have started coming out. NEC has started coming out with a few sort of Usagi Yojimbo toys. So again, I'm not a big buyer. I don't really buy toys, but I did buy this. This is the Usagi Yojimbo as from the animated series of the Turtles.
Yeah.
I haven't opened it and I haven't taken them out. I might do one day. I don't know, but that's this is probably one of only 5 like figures that I own.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I like that.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, they've done a few other ones that they've done like a black and white version of that. They've done a Space Usagi, and for the 40th anniversary, they're coming out with like a final figure through Dark Horse, and it looks really good, but it's like $100 and I don't go for that. I don't go for that, boys. But this one was like 30 or 40 or 60, maybe 60 with getting it shipped over from America. But yeah, I thought it was well worth it. We treat himself. And just look. He's got his wee hat. He's got his wee Dino Man's. He's called Spot, by the way. That's his name there. Spot. Okay. Yeah, and he's got swords. He's got extra hands, you know.
Very cool. Very cool. If they did a 1/6 scale figure of that, would you get it?
I don't even know what that means, Pete. What is 1/6 scale?
A bigger
what is
figure.
this?
A bigger figure, basically. A Geek big toy.
What scale is that?
I don't know. That'll be 6 inches or something.
6 inches? Well, that's big. That's big for 6 inches.
No idea. Moving on then, James, to your more recent movies. I'm a big fan of this franchise, and here you are again. Tell a little bit about this movie.
So this is obviously The Matrix. So yeah, through the work of 10 Things I Hate About You, I got to meet somehow the Wachowski brothers. Yeah. As they were at the time, and they had said, "Hey, we have this scene in this room which is kind of green, and we think that if you could reprise the same character
again
in that scene, it would really make it, because it's just not hitting right." I think they did it with test audience, and there just was something missing from this scene, and it's a pretty good scene. You know, there's bullets, there's jumping, there's flying, there's all sorts of stuff. You know, I think this is maybe where like we see bullet time for a good bit, but they're like, it's just not enough. We need something to ground it in reality. And they said, "Can you appear in this scene?" Yeah, pretty much as the same guy from 10 Things I Hate About You. And I said, "Yes, Mr. Wachowski ×2, I will."
I mean, I'm looking at the imagery and I remember the scene well, and you know, sadly, Keanu and I forget the other lady's name, but they've got
Carrie-Anne Moss.
Yeah,
we've met in France.
You know, in all of the kind of the PVC outfits and stuff like that, there's not a lot of sexuality there. There's not a lot of sexual tension. I see you in your white vest there, and I'm thinking they probably brought you in just to up that kind of hormone level for the guys and the ladies watching us. Do you not think?
Yeah, it's like I said, I needed to sort of just amplify this thing just a little bit, just a tiny wee bit. Yeah. And yeah, I think this just adds, just sort of makes it, it's like sort of the piece de resistance for this for this scene. It works.
And Sean's saying, you know, great kind of characters there in terms of making sure everybody's aligned. So sunglasses, looking the part.
Yeah, because let me tell you this, it was not even sunny in that building.
Yeah. Phil's, is that TripleX Gold beer? Is that what that is?
No, that is a beer called Chisk from the island of Malta.
Nice. Yes. Next question for you, James. Next question for you. What pisses you off? What gets on your nerves, grinds your gears, or whatever you want to call it? What irritates you and pushes you over the edge?
Well, Pete, what I've learned this evening is people not taking you seriously. Really does sort of grind my gears. You know, it's just not nice. But yeah, that aside, I don't know. I don't really get too angry at things. What does annoy me? It's people in general. I think just people being people. I don't like when there's lots of people about just doing their, you know, and they could be the nicest people in the world going about their day. They annoy me. people who don't indicate when driving.
Or when walking.
Do.
I find that irritating when they're walking as well and they just turn, you know.
Yeah, or just stop in front of you, just randomly stop. People shouting at people for no reason, that annoys me. There was like, you know what, I don't want to get into it, but I will get into it. The other day, I was dropping the kid off at school, and there was this guy turned his car around in the street and was driving off, and I don't know what he did, but this motorbike pulled up beside him and started yelling into the car, and this guy had a kid in his car, and I was like, that guy shouldn't be yelling at that guy. There's a kid in his car. I don't know what he did, but it couldn't have been that bad, because you know, the guy was still on his bike. It's not like he knocked him off his bike. But yeah, you don't, you know, there's no need for it. No need for shouting at people.
Absolutely.
And also then people who don't shout at people when they should be shouting at, that annoys me too. So it should be shouting at people, but only when required. What else? What else annoys me? Silly comments on YouTube videos.
Yeah.
That annoys me. Oh, actually, a big one that really does annoy me is when people can't commit to doing a show twice a month and make you do it monthly, but then turn around and do a weekly show. That really grinds my gears.
Yeah, that's like slapping a nun. Do you know what I mean? That's bad. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I've slapped.
I mean, some nuns need to be slapped, don't they? But yeah,
they want to be slapped.
Yeah, they enjoy it. Speaking of that, James. Now,
I don't think they were real nuns.
I did. I had the costume. I did a little bit of research for myself, and you've been very shy tonight in terms of your acting career, and you shouldn't be, because obviously I know you've done a lot of great movies, but you did start off in some how can I say, more risque movies back in the day, and I know you starred in Porky's 1 and 2 early on in your career, and I know you had fun on the set there. Tell a little bit about that experience. What was that like? Yeah.
I mean, risque to some, just another Saturday to others, as that's what I would say. No, Porky's was this was sort of quite early on. It was obviously after The Great Escape and potentially after third Close Encounters. I don't know. I can't remember, but you know what, it was good. I don't really remember much about Porky's 2 because I was just very drunk. But Porky's, oh man, that was so much fun.
Yeah, I heard there was a lot of free love on set. I understand it was a wild set.
I mean, it wasn't free. It cost me a lot.
Oh, I see. Got you.
I almost bankrupted myself. I think most of the money I made from doing the movie was paid on love. It's not
started off in porn. I don't think it can class Porky's as porn. It's just harmless fun.
I mean, if that's the type of porn Sean watches, then I have to open his eyes to.
And Andy, is this because of his little Porky sausage? That's why they actually named it Porky's in the end, is what I understand. After James, on set exposed himself, but good stuff.
I did get to sit in on that shower scene, the classic shower scene.
Yeah,
with the peak hole. That was I did get to sit in on that one, and I had a good time on that.
I bet you did. Show us something else in your collection, bud. What else have you got?
So I guess we can stay on Usagi, and again, I don't have a great collection of sort of original art, but I do have a couple of pieces that I've picked up over the years. In fact, all of these have been picked up at Thought Bubble over the last couple of years. And if you will indulge me, I would like to show you and your audience. So, first one is actually a sketch card. It's not by Top, obviously. This one I got at Thought Bubble last year, and it's of Usagi Jimbo, and it's by Peter Clinton. Nice. I sort of just reached out to him before the show because he said he was doing sort of sketch card commissions, and he had that at the show for me. I think it's nice.
Very cool. I like that one.
I think it's the only. I think it's the only sketch card I think I actually have. I think about it. Yeah. Another guy at Thought Bubble last year was Kurt Michael Russell. He's a colorist. I have a lot of respect for him. He has like tutorials on coloring and stuff, and that's how I sort of caught up on coloring again by his Udemy courses. And he does a YouTube stream. He used to do it weekly. but he's now a massage therapist, so he doesn't quite do it weekly. But he still does go in and color books. And he's very active as a colorist still. And he did me this wee sketch on the day.
Oh, nice. That's very
nice.
Cool. Yeah, I like that.
And then one of my favorite pieces, and this was from, and it's awful that I can't remember his name. Ian Richardson. Yeah. And I think most of you guys have seen it anyway when you were there, but he did me this piece.
Look at that, man. That do you know what? Ian's a lovely man, and his artwork always just blows me away. It's friggin' amazing. Absolutely amazing. Very cool. Very cool. Would you, because James, you are a very talented artist yourself, would you ever be tempted to colour that?
You know, I do have it scanned, and I was thinking about it, but I just never got around to doing it. Yeah. But I do have a copy. I don't know if I scanned it. I think I just took a picture of it on my iPad. Yeah. And then I was going to do it on my iPad, but my iPad, I cracked the screen, and it's no good anymore for that sort of stuff. A couple of years ago as well, I got Barry Renshaw, I believe was his name. He was doing like free sketches for a while. He did me this one.
Nice.
It was nice.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice sweet sketch. Get done. I think he was just doing them at his table for free. It was nice to talk to him for a bit. And he's a sketch card artist too. He did Star Wars sketch cards for a while. And then probably one of my favorites as well is Alex Cormack. Yeah, he did me one again. That was 2 years ago, I believe, and he did me this Usagi headshot.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love Alex's work.
Yeah, so you know, I am creating a small sort of Usagi Ajimbo original art collection going on here, which is kind of fun. I like that. It's fun.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. And how do you store all of that? Because I was talking to Andy a little while ago about you know, these nice pieces of original art. I'm scared that mine are going to get torn and tattered because I've just kind of got them all over the place. Do you store them in a particular way, or?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, the Alex one and the Baz one I've just had in a bookshelf, pressed between books, and a drawing of a dog that I did for some random reason. And then the other ones, I have them in an A4 Polly Pocket in a folder, but they're only in that because that's what I took to Thought Bubble last year, and I haven't quite unpacked it yet. Yeah, it was actually only today that I took out all the comics that I got signed last year. Yeah, to make room for this year's.
Very similar. I'm very similar. I've got it all just piled up, and I've never really gone back to it. I
would like to frame them all and put them up in places, but
the wall space, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I do have space in this room, but it's not the space. It's the wife. She will not have it up anywhere.
Does she need to stay? Could you not?
I'm never going to find another one.
Oh, right. Okay. Got you. Andy's saying here, Peter's thinking, I could have had Comic Tom. That's a sore point, Andy. Absolutely. I wouldn't want Comic Tom after he's ballsed us around for the last friggin' 6 months and then gone on other shows before. Anyway, that's a whole other story. Let's I don't want to go into this one in too much detail, James. I'm just going to skip over it because you're getting into a little bit more raunchy territory. But you were starring in Emmanuel 4 and then Emmanuel, The Joys of a Woman, which is one of my favorites, I have to say. I absolutely love it. They must have been challenging movies to stay calm and relaxed on, I would have thought.
You know what? The role I played did not call for calm or relaxed. It called for frantic. And quite frankly, they wanted me at full attention, shall I say.
I got you.
So, there was no time to relax. I couldn't relax. I had to be on the, and to pardon the pun, but it's hard to maintain.
Yeah.
And you're doing scene after scene. It's cut. I'm only in the background. Apart from Emmanuel 4, as you can tell there, my finger took quite a prominent role. That is actually a screenshot from one of the scenes, which I think was cut from the thing. But yeah.
I mean, I have to thank you for those movies, because I mean that tagline there, "Nothing is wrong if it feels good," is something that I try to aspire to every day. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of a life lesson. It's not just porn. It teaches lessons, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say though as well, it's not a good mantra to live by, because sometimes it is wrong, even if it does feel good. So just as long as you're abiding by the laws of the area you are, it's fine. But I wouldn't live by that 100%.
No, you're quite right. I mean, yeah, you get yourself into all kinds of trouble. To have him going like a rabbit, that's where his love of Uzagi probably came from. Phil, where is he putting that finger? Everywhere, mate. He put it everywhere in that particular one. Nothing is wrong if it feels good, is James's motto on a night out. That's that finger seen some things. Oh, and Connie's just arrived again. Connie, you've just missed a bit of yeah. So James, moving on from that, we've got a couple of viewer questions for you. So the great Instagram public sent some questions your way. I did get a lot of comments that I've compiled into kind of one question for you about these. I don't know if we've mentioned them yet on the show, but you have started doing some Topps trading cards, and people just want to know kind of how that happened, how that started for you.
Oh God, you know what? Sometimes I hate, like, and I don't mean to be like, oh, look at me. Sometimes I hate looking at some of those cards because they were early cards.
They look good. They look good, mate. They are excellent.
Some of them I just don't like. But yeah, the one on the bottom left, the Bitroid, that's what was sold on eBay. Somebody bought one of my cards on eBay, which I never see any money from. But yeah, how did it come about? You know what? So I think it was last year. Last year I was just doing wee sketch cards for, sending to you guys. And I mainly just started doing them for like my son, because he loves Star Wars and stuff, and I was drawing wee Star Wars sketches and random things for him. And I seen people posting sketch cards that got published through Topps and Star Wars, and I thought some of them look all right. Some of them look. Could I be on that level? I don't know. And I sort of put it in mind. I set up an Instagram account, which I called Shitty Sketch Cards, at the time, and started posting some of it on there. Didn't really get any sort of notice from that at all, really. I then sent samples off to a couple of different companies. So I just sort of sent my Instagram link and then a few sort of raw scans. There was a small sort of independent publisher of cards, but he has a few licenses like Ultraman and things like that under his belt. And he came back and said, "Listen, your style is sort of not what we're looking for, but keep working on it and send some more. When you've got a refined style." It's just a nice way of saying no, not interested. My plan. I said, "You know what? I'm going to fire them the Topps anyway." I got an email address for Topps, fired them the samples, didn't think any of it. Then one day I'm sitting in the office, and I wasn't really working from the office, but there was the one day of the month I was in the office. I got an email on my phone from Topps saying, "Oh, these look good. We just need to get final approval from Disney and Lucasfilm. Can you give us your social media accounts that you use, and we'll get it all approved?" I'm like, right, that's a problem. So I had to go on Canva, change the logo and everything, and change the name of the account from Shitty Sketch Cards to JB Sketch Cards, and sent them on. And then again, it was maybe like a month later, they said, "Yeah, that's what you've been approved. We'll get you on the next set." And they ship out cards to you from FedEx. You draw them. They've got a return label. You slap that on. You send them back. Well, you scan them first for approval, and then you ship them back. And it's just been going from there. So it was like March. They sent my first cards to me. I'm now working on my fourth set for them. Or my fourth set of cards will be the third product. So only the Chrome has released, which I did about 37 cards for.
Right.
There's going to be 2 more products being released. I'm doing cards for. Oh no, I have done 4. Yeah, so there's 2 more products being released this year, I think, that I've done cards for, and then there's going to be another one that I'm working on now for next year. And yeah, that's it. Literally, I just sort of kept drawing it for my own sanity, really, and just sent the samples in. Like, never did I think they would come back and say yes. Yeah. And like I said, it was sort of panic mode when I received like the first blank cards in the post, and I'm looking at it, and I literally took a week or 2 before I even started drawing on that one card, because it was just so nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I bet. but you've done it, mate. And honestly, again, hats off to you. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. Yeah. And James, if people do want to try and get commissions off you, do they just hit you up on your Instagram account?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, so contact me on Comic Deal or JB Sketch Cards on Instagram and drop me a thing. Unfortunately, we don't get any sort of official Star Wars cardstock to do commissions on ourselves. They unfortunately they've stopped doing what's called artist proofs. They've stopped doing that as of this year, I believe. So I can't do like an official Star Wars card for people, but I do have a few blanks that are themed like 80s, 90s, and then a couple of horror ones. So I'm sure, if someone contacts me, we can work something like that. I have thought about getting my own sort of cardstock done up. I just don't know if there's a market for it yet.
Oh, I'm sure there would be. But again, a massive thank you from myself and Andy, if he's still in the chat, because obviously you donated 2 commissions at our charity event a little while ago. I think Dr. Von Hood got them, didn't he? From memory.
He got one. You actually didn't run the second one.
Oh, did not. Okay, well, we'll keep it for the next time we do a charity night. So,
maybe I'm too big for that now.
Yeah, don't work with us little people. I don't know.
Yeah, no, if you pay me some money, then
maybe. We got a question from this was from Andy. Assemble a team of 4 UK comic community members. Who would they be, and what role would they play each?
Like what for? What am I assembling this team for?
Not a clue. The superhero team, I suppose, or
right. Wow. Slim pickings. I mean, me definitely as the leader.
Naturally, yeah.
Just because of my obviously outgoing personality, will get everybody sort of where we need to go.
Inspirational.
Yeah, you know what? Let's go. We're going to do a Northern Ireland super team, or Sean would say an Ireland super team. So we're going to have me, we're going to have Sean, we're going to have Philly's Fiction, and we're going to have Connie Dalton.
Yeah. That's a strong team. That's a strong team.
It is a strong team.
I would trust them.
I don't know what roles they would do, and I think Phil could be like the chef. Connie could what could Connie do?
Connie's the brains, surely. She's like a doctor or something. She's got a doctorate in all kinds of stuff, hasn't she? She's the planner. She's your Reed Richards.
Yeah, she can read over all the sort of litigations we get against us.
Yeah.
And then Sean can just be he can be like the vehicle that we all ride on. So he can because he can fly, so we can all just jump on his back and he can fly.
Yeah. I mean, I know you've all rode Sean before, but yeah, that'd be cool. Speaking of Sean, how many Seans can James fit in his pocket?
So we've actually tried, and it is exactly 3.5.
3.5.
3.5 Seans.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Show us another item from your collection, mate. The last one we've got to show off.
The last one. Whoa. Okay. You know what? I've showed this off a few different places, but nobody cares unless it's on your show. So we're going to show it here. Okay. Who's ready? Who's ready for this? So this, my friends, is called Bubba the Redneck Werewolf. Right, from TripleG Comics. This was TripleG Comics, as you can see. So this was published, I believe. Let me just check. I think it was 2001. Doesn't even have a date on it. 2000 or 2001. And the story behind this book is, right, so I had been a member of a message board called Digital Webbing. And they had these forums for sort of people who like comic books. They also had a publishing wing later on where they would publish like the Digital Webbing Presents. They done like Blood Rain comics, a couple of Dracula books for a while. So in the forums, there was like a creator community as well. And this was like I said, probably like the late 90s, early 2000s. And I was getting into sort of comic coloring on a laptop. And I was doing that. So I seen there was an ad posted there from these guys saying they want people to sort of give their cover a color and submit it and see if they'll use it. And I was like, all right, I'll do that. So I sent it through. submitted it through them. Now, unfortunately, they didn't use my colors, so these aren't my colors. Oh, tears. But they were nice enough to send me this book, and apparently this is only one of maybe 20 that they printed. With this cover. Now, they did actually do a full run of it. There's like 4 or 5 issues that they self-published at the time, but it was a different cover. But they all did sign the book for me, and again, this must have been 99 or 2000, so I would have been what, young, we'll say. And so we got the artist, Sean Surface, and he was like, I think he was a DC artist. He did. I think he passed away maybe 10 years ago, unfortunately. And he did me he did Bubba the Redneck Werewolf drinking a Guinness. And he says, Aaron go bra lad, which is Irish for something. And then he says, welcome to the Wolfpack. You know, because I lived in Northern Ireland and I thought it was great. We'll say Irish, right? And then the other guys who did the book, there was another artist, Brian Graham, did that one. So I was the first official Bubba guy. And he said, from one Irishman sort of to another, because, you know, he's American, so he's got to be Irish. And then the writer, Mitch Heyman, says, James, all the best. He says, see, now you know why I'm a writer. So Bubba the Redneck Werewolf went on to have his own movie and maybe another 2 or 3 comics. So there is a movie called Bubba the Redneck Werewolf, which Mitch Heyman is still involved in, the writer of it and the creator. And he's still on Instagram. I sort of follow him, and I remember posting this on Instagram for a while, and that's where he sort of said, wow, I've never actually seen one of these after we sent them all out. So he says even he doesn't have one like that. So it's like a really early sort of keepsake for me from when, you know, I tried to make it as a comic colorist, and I didn't, but I got this out of it. And, you know, it was kind of cool. I was like, what, 18, 19, maybe 17, 15.
Cool. I've never heard. I have to be honest, James. I've never heard of Bubba the Redneck Werewolf. That's something I'll have to check out in the movie. You're not in that movie, are you?
I'm not. No, unfortunately. I had given up sort of extra work to concentrate on tops.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, mate. We're coming to the end of the show. There is one more film I just wanted to mention because I want to give a bit of a personal thank you to you. Obviously, you did star in 50 Shades. And I just wanted to say thank you for that, because that really did kind of help me and my wife out a fair bit. It spiced things up a little bit. So thank you for your efforts in that movie. I think you made it, to be honest, particularly those scenes in the special room, shall we say. Yeah,
me and Jimmy were good friends. So
I think there was definitely a dynamic there. Okay, James, tell me a little bit about where people can find you on the old Instagram and YouTube. Are we getting any more YouTube content?
Probably not. So you can probably just find me on Comic Deal Instagram, where I sometimes post comics and sometimes post some art, and then JB Sketch Cards is where I've sort of done most of my artist. As you see there, it says licensed artist for tops. That makes it official. Cool. Still don't believe it, but it's there. Other than that, you can probably just find me down your local park with a sucker.
I mean, I have to be honest, it did confuse us, this image, because I was trying to work out why you've got a picture of Andy on your JB Sketch Cards thing. I don't know why that is. Is that just because he's our friend? So?
He just wanted a picture of himself because he can't take it that I'm going somewhere. You know, all he can do is move to Killer Comic Show, and then obviously like retire from Killer Comic Show and then show back up a week later. Whereas at least I, have been able to accomplish something myself.
Achievement. Listen, we're going to ask James a few rapid questions in a minute, but just before we do that, so please don't go, but we'll end the show on some rapid fire questions. Before we do that, a bit of PR for myself. Lots going on the channel. We've got my usual review of old movies. We've got TripleG Tuesdays every Tuesday. We've got a different live show, 1/6 scale, action figure reviews, comic reviews, interview shows, comic hunting videos, and all that jazz. I'm starting to go randomly live on me Todd, trying out a little bit of a live show by myself. Thursday nights, we've got the Killer Comic Show at 9 o'clock. Myself and Andy are leading the charge on Thursday, so please do make sure you join for that. And I've got one good scare show over with James T. Keegan all your horror news and reviews on that. So please do check that out. Next Tuesday, we've got our toy show. So myself, Andy, and the guys will be talking all things action figures, Lego, all kinds of stuff. So please do check that out. Okay. James, rapid fire questions. I just want the first thing that comes to your mind. Just whatever jumps into that little head of yours. All right. So let's just get me things ready. Best Batman.
Affleck.
Really?
He is a man. So see the training scene. And again, I don't really like Batman too much, but the CrossFit training scene with his chest out.
Yeah. Okay. Star Wars or Usagi?
Oh. Move on.
Come on, Star Wars or Usagi? Pick one. Which one are you going for?
No, you can't make me. Space Usagi.
Do you pee standing up or sitting down?
It depends. It's 50-50.
50-50. Best ice cream flavor?
Pooh Bear.
Oh, I don't think I've had Pooh Bear. Stanley or Jack Kirby?
Stanley.
Okay. Favorite sex position?
Yes.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
What's the best swear word?
Cunt.
Oh, what's a good one? Andy or Sean?
Sean.
Top or bottom?
Top.
Okay.
Tops.
Comics. I like what you did there. Yeah, well done. Okay. The Comics Airwaves team: Phil, Scott, Martin. Shag, marry, avoid.
Shag, Phil. No. I would marry. Who are the other two called?
Martin and Scott.
Martin and Scott. I'll marry, kill, avoid. Is that what it is? So or yeah. Start studying. What are we doing?
So shag, marry, avoid.
Shag, marry, avoid. So not killing anyone. Okay, sorry. So shag, Phil, marry, Martin, and avoid Scott.
Okay, fair enough. Now think about this one carefully.
Yeah.
Best UK YouTuber.
Grey Man.
Piss off.